The code that we have prepared to verify email token is now working, and we are ready to add code that actually sends email message. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to stop the running Apache Tomcat so that port 8080 is not taken anymore, and I will run the shutdown command, shutdown sh. Okay, Tomcat is now shut down. I can try running this command again. Should give me an error message. Okay, so it's working. Now let's go back to our RESTful web service. I will minimize the email verification service. I don't need it anymore. And I will go to a place where we create users. So that is inside of user service implementation class. And here, when we create user, just maybe after when user is successfully persisted into a database, here we will write code that sends an email message. The code that will be sending email message is quite lengthy, so I'm going to put it inside of the new class, and I will put it under shared package. I'll create a new class, and let's call it Amazon Simple Email Service, like this, and click on Finish. I have prepared a code snippet that I will paste, and I will walk you through because there is quite a lot of typing. You can pause your video and type it from the screen, or take my source code to have this file. So let me format this code. Okay, so we are going to have a class, and this class will have some class fields, and inside of that class we will have one function which is called verify email, which takes user DTO, and this is it. Now let's import some of these libraries. Like let's import user DTO class. Let's import Amazon Simple Email Service, Builder, Regions, Simple Email Request, Message, and so on. Okay, I have imported all the classes, and now I'm going to walk you through this Amazon Simple Email Service class. So what does it do? First of all, it needs to use the email address which has been verified in earlier videos. I have verified with Amazon that email address Sergey Kargapolov at swiftdeveloperblog.com will be used to send email addresses. So this is a from. Then we will need to prepare a subject line which users will see when they receive this email. My subject line will look like one last step to complete your registration with Photo app. And then we have two versions of email message body. One version that supports HTML and another version that does not support HTML for those email clients that do not support HTML. So inside of this message body, I simply have a text which I want user to read when they receive this email message. Like the header is, please verify your email address, and then thank you for registering with our mobile app. To complete your registration and be able to log in, please click on the following link. And then I provide an HTML link, a link to that HTML page in my email verification project, the project that we have created here. This is not a link to a RESTful web service endpoint. This is a link to an HTML page that sends HTTP request to our RESTful web service. So this is a link to this page here. And the address of this link I have copied from the browser window so that I don't have to type. I just copied an address here and paste it inside of my Amazon class. Now be careful when you deploy this application to a production server, to a remote server in Amazon. You'll have to update this URL, because when you deploy your application into Amazon server, for example, the public URL is going to be different. So when user receives this text with this email link, and if they click on link that says localhost, then they will not be able to reach your server. So update this address to the public domain name on which your RESTful web service and the verification service are running. And the text, which is for email clients that do not support HTML, is very much similar. It is just it doesn't have HTML text. And for the message here, instead of click on the link, I say open the following URL in your browser window so that they can copy and paste it. The token value itself is here as a special character, and my Java code below will look for this token value and it will replace this token value with actual token. We have it here. So I'm using Java code to replace a string that it finds, and the string should look like this, $sign token value, with the email verification token that it reads from user DTO. Okay, so this is our function, verify email. So what it does, it creates Amazon Simple Email Service Client, and the region is very important as well. Make sure you use the region for which you have verified the email address that you're going to use for a from. If you use a different region, it might not work. Okay, so we have created an email service client, and then we have prepared HTML body and the text body, the message that user is going to read, and we have replaced a token placeholder with the action token that is stored inside of user DTO. And now we are creating a simple email request object, and we are setting this value there. So destination of this message is going to be sent to address that is read from user DTO as well. So this is going to be an email address of the user that has just registered. And then we set a message of two different versions, one message with HTML and one message for email clients that do not support HTML with plain text. And then we set a subject, and this is the object that holds the subject. We have declared it here, the subject. And then we set the from, and finally we send this email message. The system out println is not really needed. So once this line is executed, the Amazon SDK will send the request to Amazon Simple Email Service to attempt to deliver this email. Okay, so now this is it. Let's save this class. And now let's switch to user service implementation and make use of it. So I will add a note here, send email message to user to verify their email address. And now I will use new Amazon Simple Email Service, and let me import it first. So I'll import it, and now I can use its function, which is called verify email, and it takes in user DTO, which is in our case called return value. So before returning from this method that creates a new user, we will send a request for email address verification. And this is it. So now we can run it and try it and see if it can send an email message. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this application. And now I will register a new user. I'll switch to Postman. And here I have a request to /users to create a new user. I will just create a new username. So if I want to receive this email address, that should be one of my email addresses. Let me use same Swift developer blog. So that should work. So Sergey Kargapolov at swiftdeveloperblog.com. So if you want to test this, you need to use email address that you can check. Okay, so and the password, let it be 123. So let me send this now to create a new user. Okay, the request is sent. New user is created. We have a message here in our console that email message is sent. Let's switch to the browser window, and I have my Swift developer blog inbox open, and I have just received an email 7:53 a.m., which is right now. So I will click on this to open, and here's my email message. Please verify your email address, and the text and the link. So as you can see, Gmail does support HTML in email messages, so everything is working. I'm not going to click on this link because my email verification service is not running. I have shut down my Apache Tomcat, so that's not going to work. But the purpose of this video is to show that the code we have added to send email message with Amazon Simple Email Service does work and does send email at the time when we create a new user. So let's continue.